Reis as an opponent. She said, if I'm coming to America, naturally this was supposed to take place on the undercard of Triple G and Canelo in Las Vegas. But this was as credible as fight to warrant being on HBO. It was kind of opportunity that was created. Chocolatito wasn't available as the co-feature. He was the original person slotted as the co-feature. That opened up the door for Cecilia, and you saw the talent of Cecilia and, frankly, of Reis. Reis came to take the titles, you know, and hitting Cecilia with a couple of those big shots that she did. You can tell she was very hungry, and she fought her heart out. Cecilia shows why she's the only undisputed champion in the sport of boxing. Her technical skill, I think, is above any other female boxer in the sport. And she showed how she was able to outbox a much bigger opponent, but a very dangerous opponent like Reis. Cecilia, if you want to say a few words, and we have Jonathan Banks sitting next to Cecilia as well, so we can, you know, after Cecilia says a few words, we can open up for questions for her.
Yeah, I haven't had so much fun in a long time. I had an amazing opponent, and we just went for it 10 rounds, and I needed someone who could bring the best out of me. So I went 2 divisions up, and I got the former world champion, and I knew that she would just come for the belt, and she would give everything, and she was definitely a worthy opponent for this historical fight. So I'm just extremely happy and proud of both of us tonight.
Questions? Cecilia, when she got the knockdown in the 6th, did you feel at all that happened because you were fighting out of your style, being more aggressive, being on HBO in America for the first time, or were you fighting as good a fight as possible and she just got the shot?
No, I think, you know, she's very strong. She is bigger than me, and it was a good shot. And I don't want to take anything away from her. She fought a great fight, and she definitely studied me a lot. And I got back on my feet, and I finished the fight. I think you know what? Okay. It happened. I just pulled myself together, and I finished my fight and took my belts home with me. And I think that, together with having the first female fight on HBO in such a way, is a huge win.
Cecilia, given that she had an easier time with you on the second half of the fight, would you be open to giving her a rematch anytime soon?
Yeah, definitely. You know, well, you know, Jonathan is not. He doesn't mean it was such a close fight, and I have to see the fight, of course. But if that is something of interest, I would definitely do that, and I will have Jonathan maybe fly in a little bit earlier than next time. So I think, yeah, for sure, if that is something of interest, absolutely.
Did you mentioned obviously she was a champion at middleweight. Did you really kind of feel her size in there? Was she one of maybe the biggest opponents you faced?
Yeah, for sure, definitely, yeah. But that's why I picked her, because in my weight division, you know, I am the #1, and I pretty much have beaten all of the competitive girls, and that's what needed to really bring a competitive fight and to show my best in coming to America and taking on a strong American girl. It just tickled all of my senses, and everything just delivered. The arena, the atmosphere, it was amazing, absolutely thrilling.
I have to interject something on Cecilia's behalf. Here's a champion that sells out 10,000-seat arenas in Norway. Here's a champion that changed the law in Norway. How long was it banned for? 33 years, Cecilia? 35 years?
Yes, yes. 32.
Boxing was banned in Norway, and because Cecilia was so talented and world champion and so popular in her country, they actually changed the law to allow her to fight in her own country. She fights on pay-per-view in Norway. She's one of the biggest stars in Norway. Leaving that atmosphere, coming here just for the opportunity to fight in front of the American fans, the opportunity to fight on HBO, to show her skills, you know, with a completely different financial situation than what she's used to in Norway. That shows the sacrifice, the dedication that she's looking at to build her career over here in the United States. With her style in the ring and style out of the ring, I think she has a tremendous future over here in the United States and worldwide. And you know, we saw tonight with her getting up off the canvas, fighting back, fighting a much bigger girl. We have to give Reis a lot of credit, but that shows Cecilia's championship spirit and the fact that she wanted to impress the fans over here in the United States. This telecast was broadcast in over 150, it was 151 different countries. So it shows the marketability of both Cecilia and Triple G. We broke the record at the StubHub Center, not only for the number of people, but also the revenue that was generated in the history of this venue. So it was a great launching pad for HBO, and I see Peter Nelson back there, and we just want to thank Peter again for giving his blessing on having Cecilia as the first
Peter.
fighter on HBO. We can go across Kevin. Yeah.
Cecilia, I just wanted to ask you and Jonathan as well. You referenced several times that Callie was bigger than you. Clarissa Shields obviously has fought at 168. She's a much bigger girl even than Callie. How do you think, given your experience with this woman, that fight you would do against fighting someone as big as Clarissa Shields?
Well, honestly, you got two different fighters, two different styles. So therefore, in my opinion, this first fight with Reis, given the little time that I think she showed little sparks about what she actually can do as far as moving and boxing, and I think that's what the sport is all about. You know, when she was moving, when she was boxing, she was using the jab. In my opinion, she was doing a really good job. You know, so I think when she got caught, when she tried to trade with her, when she got caught, the knockdown, I don't think it took away any of the previous rounds that Cecilia was winning. You know, so therefore, I think with Clarissa, that's a different animal. You can't even compare these two fighters in the same category because, you know, you got two-time gold medalists against someone who don't have a gold medalist. But at the same time, I'm not trying to take another away from Reis because she got a really, really good championship spirit and a championship heart. But I just think those are two different level fighters. And we would definitely, Cecilia would definitely have to bring nothing less than her A game every single second of every round to beat Clarissa Shields.
Cecilia, you train with Lucia Richard for the most part for this fight. Have you talked to her already about this win? If so, did you say anything about it?
No, I'm just coming out from the the water. Yeah. So paperwork and no, I haven't got that far.
And second question is like, well, you're from Colombia. Have you ever think about bringing this whole boxing talent to show over there in South America and create a stand?
I would love to do that. I want to fight everywhere, anywhere, on the biggest arena, on the biggest TV channels. I just want to box. I love this and new challenges and just really see how far it could take me and how good I can be in the ring and you know what, I just have to see what the opportunity is coming up, but for me, there's anything is possible.
Dan?
Cecilia, congratulations for that here.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you could just explain what happened in the terms of your training situation, where Lucia was with you in camp, with you all during the week, and now Jonathan obviously was in your corner for the fight.
Well, you know, me and Jonathan has worked together for a long time, and the first weeks he couldn't be here, unfortunately, because he was in Europe. So so Lucia was so wonderful, kind that she stepped in, but at the fight night, my gut feeling was that I needed somebody who knew me and could take me, you know, if anything should happen, so it could be there and just and somebody who knew me, you know, and I think it was the right decision, and I think I always listen to my gut feeling, and as a fighter, as you know, you are up in the ring, you know, it's your health, it's you are alone there, you know, you have to trust yourself, you have to trust your gut feeling, and my gut feeling this time was that I needed to have Jonathan with me fight night.
And so just quickly then, how was Lucia's reaction to that, and Jonathan, what did you think when you got the call?
No, Lucia is absolutely fine with that. She's an amazing person, so she understood the whole situation, and she stepped in a very short time for a couple of weeks, and so she's been a fighter herself. She knows this game.
I can't say I was knocked off my feet then, because I mean, me and Cecilia, it's not like we lost contact. She was talking to me, and she was telling me, maybe it's more so a week ago when I was still in, I believe I was in Germany, she said, this feels so weird. I don't know how I'm gonna feel if I don't have you in the corner. And she was saying that, and I'm like, okay, maybe she will request it, maybe not. I didn't know. And when I got a call saying that definitely, I want you to, like, look, whatever you gotta do, if you're not busy, I need you, I would like you in the corner. I said, of course. Because it's not like we didn't have no camaraderie before. I mean, we had a good thing going, and we still have it going. So, and I think in sports, the hardest thing to find is that one to take another one to the next level.
Did you get on a plane like last night?
No, this morning.
This morning, okay.
Like this morning. So, but you know, like, but when I guess when duty calls, you know, that's what it's all about.
You know what? He came. I needed him, and he came, and that's the only thing that matters.
David?
Cecilia, there's another welterweight that's undefeated in the last 11 years.
Yes.
Later McCarter, is she
Yes.
still a consideration?
Yes, and we are doing doing talks with her, and we have been for a long time, and I hope we can figure something out for sure.
What's been the hold up so far?
You know what? I don't like to do this public, you know, on Twitter, on Facebook. I don't do that. This happens in my book, it happens the right way between manager and promoters, and you know the deal. And I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything about it.
I can say, David, there were pretty high financial expectations on Carter's side, and it didn't quite fit into, even the HBO budget couldn't meet those expectations, even I think so. Look, you know, she was the mandatory. She took a fight in Mexico, which as a mandatory, you're not allowed to do that. So, you know, if something like that, as Cecilia said, if something like that presents itself, and, you know, if the financial expectations are something that's realistic for what works, you know, certainly that's something to consider, but that's a pretty direct answer to why that fight hasn't happened yet.
What do you think Emmanuel Stewart would have said tonight?
What do you mean? In what way?
About the corner word, the fight.
Well, you know what? Honestly, this is from my heart. I feel I try to do everything I can not to enter a gym, enter a ring, or enter a corner of an arena without having him with me. So, I mean, that's why what I do is coming straight from my heart. So therefore, that's why when she called, I came, because, you know, it's coming from the heart. So therefore, I really believe that what I said, I mean, obviously, I'm sure, to me, he's the GOAT. So he put her in much better ways, but I feel he would have been happy with the things I said.
Next question.
In developing Cecilia now here in America, and if the rematch with Canelo is done in September or even May of next year, can we expect her to be on the undercard?
Well, she was supposed to be on the first time with Triple G and Canelo, so I don't see why she wouldn't be. If the rematch happens, I don't see why she wouldn't be on that. She brings a whole different level to the promotion. We saw that Cecilia generated her own articles, LA Times articles, ESPN, Yahoo. I mean, people were writing about her as a big addition to the show. She was generating her own publicity, and that's exactly what you want for a pay-per-view show. So, you know, now with her debut out of the way here on HBO, I don't see why she couldn't be on that show, as she's definitely a huge asset to any show.
Speaking of